Hello and welcome to this presentation of the new manager onboarding training for RisqueAqay designed by Design-O-Rama. On the left you're going to see our curriculum matrix, which shows the sequence and priority of the 12 topics that we've broken this curriculum into. I'm going to focus particularly on the sequence presented during the orientation, which you'll see in the orientation intensive column. The orientation intensive is a one-week session. Many of the topics are offered in presentation form, providing a conceptual overview of how these different competencies relate and support the work of a new branch manager. First topic, planning and organizing, covers the first 90 days and introduces the various aspects of the manager's job. This topic is followed by project management and introduces project management software which managers and upper-level workers use to keep track of their work. This software is a central theme throughout the next sequence, and that's why it's introduced immediately after planning and organizing. Product management is the process by which new insurance products are developed and rolled out, and it uses the Gantt chart from the project management software as a discussion point for its intensive presentation. Product management and sales and marketing discussed as a focus the introduction of digital threat insurance, which is a timely topic given the number of banks that are being hacked lately. And the project is to provide community education and awareness building around digital threats and how they can be averted, both in terms of sound computer practices and identity theft protection, as well as with the choice to purchase digital threat insurance through RisqueAqay. This leads to performance management, which is an opportunity for the new manager to work with volunteer brokers in making best use of the community service, both in their participation with the community and in their sales that derive from this work. So we'll go into these latter two in detail. This is the activity triangle for the branch community service program when a branch manager leads staff in developing, implementing, and evaluating a community service initiative tied to the digital threat insurance. And the key focus here is to use community service to build awareness and good relations around a topic that supports the release of a new insurance product. Performance management involves establishing team priorities with managerial leadership about how they're going to perform over a given period, and then having individual priorities negotiated based on evidence of performance against branch team goals in a prior period. So the timeline shows that we have an intro presentation, then the action learning assignment of the community service project, and then mentoring over a while. Using the tools of the statistical data and its reporting, and also the knowledge management system that guides branch managers in coming up with performance improvement plans for their hires. Our activity triangle highlights that we're looking for acceptable progress towards the sales targets, which are negotiated with the manager and his report, but also support the overall targets of the branch. Having to manage someone who you were previously a peer with is going to be a difficult transition, which is why using the community service project and all the good feeling that's generated by doing good for the community can ensure that the first experiences around performance management and improvement will be positive.
The ability to plan and organize is a key competency for RisqueAqay branch managers. They'll be tasked with planning and executing projects that benefit the business on an ongoing basis. The slide you're looking at here is the sample activity with the activity triangle. For this activity area, we're having new manager trainees complete a 90-day roadmap for their transitional period. This activity will demonstrate a competency of being able to strategically think, make decisions, and organize content. New managers will be expected to meet 75% of the goals outlined in their 90-day roadmap. The intervention will occur in the intensive phase of the new manager's first year. In the first 90 days, new managers will sit through a presentation on how RisqueAqay approaches these roadmaps, as well as have examples shared with them. After the presentation, they'll receive coaching and guidance from their assigned mentor. This mentoring will occur throughout the first 180 days. Being an effective branch leader is critical to the success of any branch. Branch managers will need to show leadership skills to increase branch performance and employee satisfaction. The sample activity for this activity area requires managers to conduct a personal style needs analysis for all of their direct reports. This will demonstrate their ability to follow an adaptable leadership model. This requires them to be an effective communicator, have an understanding of the corporate leadership model, be able to network, and have the ability to influence. New managers will be given an introductory presentation on the company's leadership model. They'll complete a team activity to reinforce what they've learned, and they'll work with their mentors to begin developing the personal style needs analysis. The mentor will evaluate the results at the end of the first year by measuring employee satisfaction and general observation of the new manager. A positive public image is important to the RisqueAqay location-focused philosophy, and our new manager trainees are the face of that business. For this activity area, the sample activity is the creation and deployment of a community service project that addresses climate change in preparation for an increase in home catastrophic insurance. New managers will need to have planning and organizing skills, as well as be an effective communicator and project manager. This activity will demonstrate that the new manager can create and deploy successful public relation efforts for their branch. After 180 days, new managers will receive an introductory presentation with examples of successful PR efforts from other branches. They'll perform a team activity to reinforce the learning and work with their mentor to identify challenges and formulate a plan. They'll be measured by the number of catastrophic home insurance policies sold at their RisqueAqay branch. The mentor will be looking for an increase of 30% for the branch.
So our new managers will receive information from a marketing panel, as well as an intensive course. The marketing panel will deal with a Q&A about the good and the bad in sales and marketing, and what they've seen work and what they haven't. So that's within the first 90 days that they'll do the course and intensive orientation. The next part of it, they'll receive a mentor for 3 months to deal with solidifying all of the information that they just gathered throughout those first 90 days. That'll set them up to be able to use the knowledge management system and the quick guides that are given. And as you can see from an AT triangle, they'll be able to, the ultimate goal here is to get the customer knowledge about the change in insurance and policy and price. And to be able to explain that well enough to them. With a retention rate of 90% or better in response to the increases. Our next step is customer service, as it is important for any business. During the first 90 days, they'll be doing role-playing with real-life situations to deal with any escalated customer. And then after that 90 days, they'll receive a mentor that will assist in helping them, again, solidify that and understanding how to bring it all together. And then they'll have access to their mentor after that 180 days, but doing it more on their own with monitoring and scheduled reviews to keep track of how they're doing. As you can see from our AT, the ultimate goal here is to de-escalate an upset customer to make sure that they're happy. And again, this is open to local interpretation because the local branch managers will definitely know their customers better. Legal and regulatory is very intensive for the first 90 days. Again, courses that have to deal with learning about legal and regulatory policies. And after that 90 days, they'll receive a mentor that will help bring all the tools that they've learned within those first 90 days all together. And during that time, they'll be shadowing an auditor on several visits. They'll also receive scheduled reviews and ongoing applications Again, the ultimate goal here is to make sure that their branch is within the parameters and compliance of legal and regulatory, and all should do this. Ultimate goal here is to have knowledge of legal and regulatory as the requirements and how to meet them.
Now, these were just the highlights. The full presentation with a lot more information is available at the goo.gl URL you can see on your screen now. goo.gl/6p large W small k large D small h. We hope you'll take a look at that. And now we're going to move over to Harry in Singapore with the last part of our presentation. Enjoy!